Hello, everybody. This is Natalie with the International Real Estate Call, weekly call. And going on today, we're going to have Mexico again in the house. We're going to go over some lending options that we had a lot of questions about that, the prior sessions we had about Mexico. And before I forget, please take your phones. If you can take any pictures, screenshots, share in social media, tag us. And this is a link to our YouTube, I think. So when you go to YouTube, you'll see the recordings there within 24 hours after we finish. So stay tuned on that. That's so you can start testing your phone and your scanners. We're going to have two presenters today, as I mentioned. It's going to be Elaine Besset and Guillermo Calderas from Moxy. So we're going to go over, the process of the lending side and also what is one company that is doing, very well on the mortgage side for expats in Mexico. So we're going to go over some intros in a little bit. And again, the purpose of this call is networking. We're going to be sharing some knowledge from different countries, different parts of the transaction from the lending side to the legal part, taxes, and also the buying process for different countries. The whole purpose of this community is to just have that connection one-on-one, just meet here, take it one-on-one. And that's why we want to keep this group very intentional. Community building is our core. All the announcements that you might have for other listings and updates on events, we keep it at the end. You're welcome to bring your own announcements. That's why in the WhatsApp group, we're trying to keep it a little protected because otherwise it gets too noisy. But if you bring it here, you're welcome to share all the announcements and your listings if you have any as well that you want to showcase. This opportunity is also for those who are in the EXP network to do co-sponsoring so we can talk to each other and learn from each other's markets. Who is this for? This is for real estate professionals from around the world, and anybody's welcome, not only from our company, but we open it to everybody outside as well from other companies that want to learn more. The whole intention is not to, for the client to be protected and they don't get in trouble. Introduce yourself, please, in the chat as I posted this already. So your name, where you're from, your current market that you cover, and also what are the countries you want to learn more about. Based on that, we push the countries farther, in front of the line, and we find those speakers to share more about their country and their market. I'll do a quick intro about myself. My name is Nathaly Salas. Here is my QR code to my Instagram, I believe. Feel free to tag us, post anything, invite other people to this call, invite people to the chat, to the WhatsApp chat. We're trying to keep it very nice and organic. So we're trying to avoid the bots. So we're going to keep the WhatsApp community hopefully protected, but you can never avoid when people jump into the chat side and they start chatting about random stuff. But yeah, here's my information. You can contact me directly. This is my phone. Call me, text me, and if you have any questions or proposals for the next future calls, don't hesitate to let me know. With that, we're going to go over a quick intro about the calls, what these calls are about. So our company is called Unicorn Properties within EXP, and what we do is purely international real estate transactions and referrals. And with that, we bring the knowledge to everybody else who wants to do something similar, or at least add that to their everyday transactions. So the call itself is going to be weekly, and each month we'll have two countries, and the two countries want to showcase twice. So right now we have Mexico last week. We want to have Mexico this one time for lending, but the whole idea is that we have part one and part two of each country. We're going to have India coming up in the next few weeks. I want to wrap up with Dubai as well in the next in this month as well. We'll see if Michael wants to participate. We have a couple contacts in Dubai that are really, really good with data, and we want to share more about that. So stay tuned for that. The first part you'll see the theory, and I'll explain more. And the second part will be the practice. CMAs, comparables, price per square meter based on where they're located. So let's go over lending today. Please save the dates for the next few calls. We already had Mexico. This is the second week for Mexico. We had theory and practice. We had Dubai. We have one already recorded. So the next one will be practice. And then after that, we'll have India presenting because I'm going to have some road shows in the US that they're going to be showcasing the developers. So stay tuned for that. This is a WhatsApp group, as I mentioned. Anybody can join, but you can post also in the comments if you want to be part of that community. Okay, with that, I want to introduce Guillermo. I have his bio here. and then I'll let him speak after that, and then we can have Q&A. Then we have Elaine, for the framework of the lending, how it is and how it become possible right now in Mexico. Before it wasn't possible, now it is, and there's some channels we can go through, and one of them is Moxy. So Guillermo is the head of retail sales at Moxy. And Moxy is a global mortgage company that has over 25 years of success in mortgages sales and leadership. So he's dedicated to helping families achieve homeownership by delivering financial solutions and equipping partners to serve more clients effectively. Previously, he was with Home Lending Mortgage Manager at Wells Fargo, where he earned the President's Club honor and Director of Mortgage Sales at Vantage West Credit Union, leading high-performing teams and driving growth through strategic customer-focused initiatives. Passionate about financing empowerment and housing equity, Guillermo is active in the community with initiatives and nonprofit organizations, including leadership roles with NAREP. That's awesome. So welcome, Guillermo. I'm gonna give you the mic if you want to mute yourself. I'm gonna ping you to the... Here you are. Can you hear us? We cannot hear you, but let's check it. Let's check your mic because we heard you before. Not yet. The mic is open though.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was trying to use the headset just because I am in a hotel, and there's some background noise. And first of all, thank you for inviting me to talk today. And thank you for the introduction. As you said, I've been the head of retail sales for Moxy, just for 6 months. 25, years in the industry, lately with Wells Fargo. And this was a really unique opportunity. We saw a lot of U.S. citizens moving into Mexico. Every year we see more of them. Well, it was a unique way, to stay in the mortgage industry and connect back, with my country. So that's what brought me here. So do you want to go to the next one, or do you have control on the slides? Again, that one, if you just want to scan it, that will take you to all my information. But you'll be getting all this, after the fact. So let's just get going with the presentation. Want people here. Now, this one, if you're interested in international markets, you know that Mexico has been attracting a lot of people lately. In the past, it was mostly people who were retiring or people just buying a second home. Although we have seen, a different type of clientele moving into Mexico now. It's no longer the retirees, or people just buying a vacation home, in Los Cabos. Now we're seeing a different dynamic in Mexico. We see in the larger cities all of the digital nomads who are just looking for a good internet connection, and a nice place to live. And we're seeing a new phenomenon in the States for the near retirement people. Everyone over 50, but they're planning, already where to go. And after the pandemic, we just saw that, if they could work from home, kind of similar to the digital nomads, they were looking for a place. That's what started getting more numbers of people looking into homes. But in reality, in Mexico, before we have, the misconception that the only way that you could buy a house in Mexico, it'll be, to pay cash for it. I think that's where a lot of companies, or well, not a lot, a few companies have jumped into the opportunity just to help U.S. citizens, get, into the Mexican market, just with some financial solutions for it. Let's go to the next one, please. You asked me who's Moxy. We're a Mexican company. We're based in Cabo San Lucas. We have offices in Puerto Vallarta now. We're opening San Miguel de Allende next month. So we're growing, aggressively in Mexico. We have 7 years of experience. That's when the company as Moxy was founded. And we already have funded over $150 million, in Mexico. And what makes us kind of unique, we're doing US dollar loans, for US citizens or permanent residents. You don't have just to be a citizen. As long as you're a permanent resident in the States and you're filing taxes in the States, we can help you with your loan. And we used to be known as Global Mortgage. Now we go by as Moxy, a global mortgage company. But yes, the biggest thing, we're a Mexican company, but we are regulated, by both Mexico and the States because all of our servicing is being done in the United States. Let's go to the next one, Madeline. Our team, mostly is people from the major financial institutions, our CEO, Citigroup. I came from Wells Fargo after a long time there. Our financing is backed by some top tiers banks or insurers. So we have over $1 billion in assets, to lend. So we're not going away anytime soon. And we have a process that makes it too similar to the experience that they have in the United States. And they talk to mortgage advisors. Most of them are based, in the United States. And I just have one, already in Mexico. Got lucky with this lady. But the process is really similar. They apply. We follow kind of the similar Fannie Mae rules that everyone is used to in the States. We're doing 30-year mortgages, with fixed rates. So it's really similar to what they have. Let's go to the next one, Nathaly, please. So our difference, we do U.S. citizens, we do permanent residents in Mexico. As I was saying, all of our loans are based on U.S. dollars, and they're serviced in the United States. And they don't need, to pay for everything up front, just waiting for them to get, reimbursed at the end. Although if someone already paid for their house in cash, they can always refinance just to get some of their investment back, for them. Our loan amounts, and this is different, for us compared to some of our competitors, we go from 250. In some cases, we can go a little bit lower than that. We go to 2.5 million. Just a few cases we can go depending on the customer. But this is not typical on the States where you just need 3 or 5% down. We're asking for 35%, as a down payment. What we're seeing, a lot of people, they were prepared to pay cash for the property. So being able not to tie all of their assets into just one house in Mexico, it's opening the spectrum for them. Now they can afford more assets. They can do a little bit more. But yes, we require 35%, of down payment for it. Our terms from 15 to 30 years, fixed rates, our rates go from almost 8% to almost 10%. It all depends on the credit score, depends on the type of property, depends on the loan to value, different things like this will determine where do they fall on this range, of interest rates that we have. But just like in the States, we don't have prepayment penalties. We don't have balloon payments. Any age restrictions, which we see a lot with the Mexican banks, that some of them, if you're over 65, you need to have life insurance. If you don't pass the requirements, you cannot do the loan. And we can do, we have a customer who's 80 years old. He's applying, but his finances are amazing. So we're doing that, for them. And credit requirements, we're looking for customers that we know. This is a risky product lending on another country. We're looking for a FICO score. We pull credit in the States. We look for a score, of 700 and higher. And the last thing, some customers, they have said that this is one of our benefits. At the end of the day, they get their 1098, so they can take it to their CPA. And some of this might be tax deductible in the United States whenever they're filing taxes. So, good product all by itself. We've been lucky to have a good number of customers coming and refer more customers to us because of this. It's really similar to what they are used to see in the United States. Let's go to the next one, Nathaly. For application to closing, the biggest thing that I want you guys to know is that, yeah, our product is really similar in the application process, a lot of things, but the customers are buying a house in a foreign country. So application, underwriting, all of those things are going to be extremely similar. The problem with this one, is the legal side of it, or the closing side of it in Mexico is different. We're dealing with other institutions. And I see Elena smiling because he knows this, as well. Mexico is unique in different ways. We have customers who hear the word notario. They think it's a notary like in the States, someone that is just going to charge $250 to check that you are signing your papers. In Mexico, a notario, it's a legal entity. I mean, and they can charge a huge percentage, of the sales price, as their fee. In some cases, we're saying 3 to 5%, of the sales price, as a notario fee. They do a whole lot more than just verifying signatures. They help with the legal process, and to help us also verify that, everything is kosher with this one. That's why it's really important whenever you see the typical closing timeline, we overestimate. We are closing some loans, in 60 days, but we keep telling everyone from 90 to 110 days because Mexico is unique. We need to verify that title, it's clean. And that has been sometimes the biggest problem in Mexico. We don't like, to do soft closings. We have to verify that the title is completely clean. We use legal, companies in Mexico just to help us with this. But we just try to keep everything as transparent, as we can, for the customer to know. And it's going to sound bad, but I say if a customer is going to get scared, I'd rather tell them up front, what are they getting into than see them spending 3 months, in the process and pay thousands of dollars of fees just to see that that's not what they wanted to do. But it's not a typical process. That's why the legal side of the process takes for a little bit longer. Let's go to the next one, please. The steps really similar. We can get everyone pre-qualified in a couple of days. When we get the documents, we submit their application, we do everything. On the step, 3 and 4, that's when everything starts slowing down. Just because we have to do the appraisals, we have to talk, to notarios, we have to talk to all of the legal entities in Mexico. In Mexico, we need to get a foreign affairs secretary permit, for any foreigner to be able to buy there. So there is some additional steps that I just didn't want to have all of them here because it's going to be kind of confusing, but I'll be more than happy to share, with you guys, if you're interested in this. So, but between 3 and 4, that's when it gets, but after that, our customers can be sure that when they sign on the dotted line at closing, that house is theirs. They're not going to have any surprises in the future, that there was another lien on the property, that there was another debt, that the previous owners had. So outside of that, the process might be similar to what they're used to, in the States. So let's go to the next one. One thing that I just wanted to share, I know that this might not be in the right day for it because we're talking about Mexico, but we have an additional product. The other program that you saw, you saw that we go from 250 and maybe a little less, to 2.5, maybe $3 million, on that loan. One loan that we just launched this year is called Anywhere. And this loan we can do anywhere around the globe. The only exception, we don't do it in the United States or the US territories, but anywhere outside of that, we can do it. This is not a mortgage per se. This loan is secured by the customers, finances. It's like a personal loan, but we're seeing a lot of customers also using this. I see customers using this in Mexico for their security deposit. Whenever they're building a house. But we also see it in places like Costa Rica, Panama, and other places like that for customers who just want to purchase, a property in those countries and they need a quick financing. This is not a mortgage like the one you saw before, our traditional product, but I just wanted to share that this is also available. Or some people needing to move fast because maybe their previous, lending options fell through at the 11th hour. This is a good way, to buy them out. But this is a small loan amount from 75 to 200,000, trying to get, additional funds on this one to expand it to a little bit more. But for now, this is kind of what we have. Let's go to the next one, please. On this one, I don't know if you're going to share my presentation with them. One thing that we do online on our website, we have our rate policy. Our rate is based on the US 3-year treasury, plus a margin based on risk. And all of this information can be found online. Costs and fees, I'll invite you, if you get this presentation, or I can share with you guys later. Fees are going to be way higher in Mexico than what they are in the States. And that's just the reality of the country. When in the States, everyone is used to pay like 3 to 5%, of their sales price in closing costs. In Mexico, we're seeing that it could be from 7 to 11%, of the sales price in closing fees. we're just talking about, the notario fees, that can be a big chunk. The transfer tax can be another big amount, that they have to deal with. But online, we have a breakdown, of all of the fees and what kind of percentage they can be, so they can be more educated, on the process. We don't want to have a customer just go through the process and spend thousands, and in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars without knowing what they're getting into. But yeah, I'll invite everyone to go to our website. I have some QR codes, on this presentation that you can scan. And please feel free to take a look at it. So if you want to go to the next. And this one, I don't believe you wanted to have some question and answer session now or at the end of it. You let me know, Nathaly.
Yeah, we can continue super quick with Elaine. And there's the QR. This is a QR code, right?
Yes, that's a QR code for Moxy, and I'll invite everyone, if you could just scan it really quick, and you can go there. I know we're not the only option in Mexico. I know Elaine represents some other companies, but it's just finding the right fit for your customers. Everyone offers something different. Some customers might be better suited for Moxy, some others might be better suited for other products. But please, just scan it, and take a look at what we have to offer. Or if you want to share with them my contact information, I'll appreciate it, just in case they have questions after this.
Yeah, for sure. And if we can add you maybe to the WhatsApp group, people will have access directly to you, or I can leave your information as well if it's okay.
Please. Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you, Nathaly.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Guillermo. And we'll start with the Q&A in a little bit, as soon as we're done with the second part of this presentation. Okay, Elaine. So do you want to go over this yourself, or should I introduce you?
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I'll let you present me. I love it.
So, well, Elaine and I have been friends for a while, and we've been going through some education for myself on the lending side. And as we go through, some hurdles in the Riviera Maya on how clients have been, going through some unfortunate stuff that we see in the market, it's been good to have good partners to just teach us how, they've learned over the years. So that's how we kind of, we connected with Elaine. So yeah, mortgage specialist in Mexico. Your why is protect the clients and make the real estate in Mexico truly accessible. He's a broker, so he works with several products. So you can get the site from Moxy as a good product that we have in Mexico, and the side of like the theory, what to do, what not to do when it comes to the transactions with Elaine. Background: Canadian, from Montreal, trained an accountant, mortgage specialist now. So he's really good with numbers, and I like that you catch all the numbers really quickly when it comes to assessing, what's good for the client. Reality check: one of every 15 Mexican banks, only 2 still finance to Canadians and internationals, and 6 offer programs for Americans and Mexicans in the US. The rule: the bank is your right arm. If the bank won't go, we won't go. And I want you to go and elaborate a bit more on that, because some people don't understand, the importance of how sometimes the mortgage backs up the assets, and some clients choose not to go with it, but the bank will assess what's a good investment, because they wouldn't fund anything that is not good. So go ahead, Elaine, all yours.
Thank you, Nathaly, for the presentation. When we say the bank is your right arm, it's to separate the market in 2 parts. There's the real assets with titles, with escritura pública that we call here. And there's the other part of the market that is pre-sales, dream for future, for maybe later. So that's the big difference on the market. The bank will never finance something that doesn't exist. So like Guillermo was saying, before in Mexico, you need to pay cash. No option was given to the client. Now it's possible. We made it very complicated. When I say we, not me, not Guillermo. It's the country. The country is still in the 80s, in the 90s. So everything is super bureaucratic here. It's heavy. So you need to pass from a lot of steps to go through the transaction. Guillermo explained all the Mexican market before, so I will go with the difference that we have to complement their product. For me, I was speaking with Jason Riviero from Moxy at the beginning of the year, and I was like, please give me an option for Canadian. Canadian and American are two cousins, two brother in arm with the financial system. We use the same credit bureau, the same credit like reports. So it's very easy. Still, we don't have that product with Moxy, so we continue pushing the one that we have with the Mexican bank. And Mexican bank, the big difference is the government here forced the bank to include life insurance, disability insurance, cost of reconstruction insurance. So that's why the interest seems high, but it's a all-in-one package. So very fast, from what we hear from Guillermo, they have a loan to value at 65%, and with Mexican bank, we can go up to 85. So that's the big difference. But normally when someone wants to invest abroad, they are used to put 30 or 35% cash down. So that's the logic of an investment at the exterior of your country. Here, they give an option at 15% cash down. Actually, I've never seen a case pass at 15. It's always 20, the real minimum. So they do nice publicity, but in actual reality, it's, let's consider 20%. Then Moxy got 700 and plus for the FICO score. Here, the banks are going with 720. You can do 1 million per year, but if you have 715, you don't have the credit here because they are so strict on their rules, on their politics. Here, if we go a little 30 seconds of history in Mexico, in 1998, everything crashed. Chinese remove a lot of investment from the country. Out of the 18 big banks, 2 survive. So when they took back control on the country, they put strict rules on it. Actually, it's good for the economy of the country. We have one of the best economy in the world right now. We passed through COVID, we passed through a lot of things, and the investment here are still safe and give good yield in rendimiento. Sorry for my mixing French, Spanish, and English. So we have a similar process. I simplify it in 4 steps. Of course, in the back scene, they are more complicated than that. They love to stretch the timeline here very much. But with that process, we go through with the bank and we know right away if someone will lose its time or if it goes to step 3, to step 4. So we simplify the timeline for this, but like Guillermo was saying, 3 to 4 months, it's a normal and traditional transaction. When I arrive in this new world, I'm the first Canadian who have my license in Mexico. I wanted to, how can I say, to reinvent the wheel in the fire. So I was saying 35 to 45 days, we'll go with that. Biggest mistake ever. So we announced the real truth. It's 3 to 4 months. And if we can earlier, we are happy. But if not, we didn't give false hope. So that's the big game here. The last difference, yes, that we have with Moxy. For us, when the bank give you like a pre-approval, they ask for the client to seal the deal. So they ask upfront the appraisal money. So yes, you're approved, Mr. Rodriguez, for 2 million pesos. Your property will be 3 million pesos. We need you to pay the appraisal for that property. So that's how the client accept it's a pre-approval. When we saw the presentation of Moxy, they have no upfront fees because they are more American way. You provide a pre-approval, the client accept or don't accept. If they accept, they choose a property. All the process is the same. The first step is the person. Then we go and analyze the property. The property will be analyzed completely, paper, who's the owner, who's the debt, what's the debt on it. So all the steps are equal. But that was the three difference: the loan to value, the FICO score, and the pre-approval appraisal that we need to pay at the beginning. All the rest, thank you very much, Guillermo. You synthesize the Mexican market in less than 10 minutes. Thank you very much. Nathaly, you can pass to the other slide, please. This weekend, we will release the book. I'm working on it since maybe 2 months. It's a guide to buy here in the Riviera Maya. So instead of living the hard life of buying alone here, this book, 115, 116 page, it will depend the little picture and the little completion of the work. It's a step-by-step. All the booby traps are well written, what to do, what not to do. All the normally surprise at the end, they are in the book. So Nathaly will release it too on her side. She have a lot more contact than me. I'm the back scene guy. I love numbers. I'm not in front of the camera all the time. So that was about it. You will have my contact information on the next slide, and we are at your disposition for at your disposal for a Q&A. Thank you very much.
Awesome, very synthesized. Let me open this the mic for everybody else. So you have any questions, you can post them in the chat as well. And something I want to mention is that some products are very new, and the reason sometimes some realtors locally don't mention financing is because they don't want to delay their commissions. So there is financing, and if you didn't know about them, now you know. So yeah, that's the reason that we kind of went over this, education process, and we had mentioned this in many calls. There is financing for clients. The local agents might tell you it's only cash, but it's only because they want their quick commissions. If you close with cash, of course, you close faster. If you offer a mortgage, you close in 3 to 5 months. So if the local realtor will tell you, oh yeah, no, we don't have any financing, just ask again, ask a lender, because there might be financing and the client doesn't have to be, out of cash so much money if the home is like 300,000. So yeah, any questions, please let me know. Here we have the whole 2 panelists open for. You can also post them in the chat. I can read them if you speak Spanish. Si lo quieren poner en español, lo puedo traducir. But both of them speak Spanish too, so. Go ahead, Diane.
I just wanted to make a comment about the closing. I put it in the chat. I'm in Puerto Peñasco, Rocky Point, Mexico, and definitely I'm going to advertise this. Like you said, it's about 60-day close, but our closes are already 45 days. So another 15 days isn't going to be a big deal. And it's all about how you present it to the client. So, if you're going to close and give some relief to these clients so they don't have to invest everything, I think that's a big plus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question.
Please.
Elaine, you mentioned that the mortgages in Mexico have the life insurance, the reconstruction insurance, and other things included in the mortgage. Is that correct? Or did I hear you wrong?
No, it's good. They include it in the interest rate. So if you go at the bank or you look on the website, you will see 9.99, 10.20, 10.50.
Mm-hmm.
That's the advertised interest rate. But you will never see that rate on your monthly payment. Because when you pass the 17,000 page of documentation, no, I'm joking. There's not that much. But you will see that there's a life insurance that get added There's disability insurance, lost job insurance, and cost of reconstruction insurance. So that's why your interest rate goes little higher. I've done a comparison when I arrived in this new world of financing here in Mexico. I took a mortgage in Canada, a mortgage in the US, and a mortgage in Mexico. And it actually, when you combine all those, the three countries are almost equals. When you add a life insurance of 300,000 in the United States or in Canada, you have a premium of 2,000, 3,000 per year. When you add a cost reconstruction insurance out of your property, you still have a monthly payment of 100 or a premium yearly of 1,200. So I recombine all the premium, I redivide in percentage, and Canada 11, United States 10.5, and Mexico 13. So you go and it's almost the same thing, in the same range. It's not like when I hear your real estate agent here saying to client, hey, go refinance your property at maximum in your country and come here and pay cash. Like, why don't equilibrate the two countries and your two financial situation instead of being stuck here at 90% of refinancing in the US or in Canada? That will affect, of course, your next car buying, your next mortgage renewal in 5 years. But a lot of what we saw on the market here, it's today is today, and we don't care about tomorrow. If you go wisely with a client, you can buy two property with financing and left cash in the account of your clients. Buy one property now with 30%, 35%, and next year, buy another one. And the big difference in all those countries is here they include the insurance, and the other country, they don't include it. In Canada, it's illegal to include life insurance on your loan. They cannot put you that as a condition. It's illegal. So thanks, Ali, for your question.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So then in addition to the mortgage payment, so if you already have all that included in the mortgage payment, the only other thing that you would have to pay additional to that would be the property taxes, correct?
Yes, and lucky us in Mexico, it's $500 per year for 300,000 property. So
yeah, that's a good point. Taxes are lower, I mean, on the monthly basis, but at the beginning, there's a transfer tax that they have to pay. That can be a good amount, I mean, of the closing costs. But after that, they're low. One more thing to add, I mean, because some people, they get surprised when they buy a house in Mexico, is that in Mexico, they have an old law that if you're within 50 miles from the coast or the border, I mean, you cannot buy under your name. I mean, you need to create a fideicomiso. That word fideicomiso is a bank trust. I mean, but it's just to help, I mean, all of this, I mean, people from the States or other countries, I mean, to be able to get a house in Mexico and just go around the old law that Mexico has. I mean, but it's nothing scary. It's just a legal instrument or a document, I mean, to create. But that has like a monthly fideicomiso fee, but it's nothing. I mean, it's not that much. I mean, so, but if you hear the word fideicomiso in Mexico, that's what they're referring to.
And to complete it, it's a life insurance contract. At the end, when you talk with lawyers and you have a nice conversation, point to point, you create fideicomiso. My lawyer is Mexican, and he owns his own house within a fideicomiso. Because he died tomorrow, everything is already under the name of his wife. And the mortgage got cleared. Because the life insurance, it's payable to the bank, and the property got free of debt. He's a professional doing business here in Mexico. So if he got sued, they cannot touch to the fideicomiso. It's an asset protection. In the US, everybody is more used with LLC protection. You have a proper company for this, a company for real estate, a interest account for the family. So it's the same structure.
Awesome. We have a question. Thank you for Michael and Diane.
One more. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
And you're muted, Michael, if you're speaking.
It's just a quick question, and thank you for the information. You all shared Guillermo and Elaine here too. Good to see you. A quick question for Moxy. If it's around 150 or 200,000, what is the situation? If that's the amount needed for the loan? And thank you.
If it's below 200, I mean, the only option I have for them is that Anywhere program. I mean, that'll be kind of a personal loan. In some cases, we partner with other banks in Mexico or other institutions like the ones Elaine represents. I mean, because I'm here to find solutions for our customers, we just refer business their way. I mean, if our product is not the right fit for them. That's why, I mean, for our traditional mortgage, yes, we start, I mean, we can go down to 200, I mean, maybe a little bit less, but our published loan amounts, they're 250, I mean, to 2.5 million. But the only option I have for them will be that personal loan or to refer them to a company like Alliance or other banks, I mean, in Mexico.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Diane, do you have a question or comment?
Yes. So when you do your closing for the loan, are you, because of the Fideicomiso or bank trust, are you closing that with a guaranteed trust at the time you close the loan or at the loan payoff?
When we close, we have all of the instruments there. I mean, well, with a notario for them, all of those to be created. Not that loan payoff or anything. We have to work and have everything ready for the customer so that we won't get any surprises down the road for it. And if you're in Mexico, you're going to see a lot of our customers. I mean, they live in the States, they live in other countries. I mean, we ask them to create a power of attorney just in case they cannot go to Mexico for their signing. They don't have to be present in Mexico to do this. So it could be their agent, could be a friend, could be somebody else who's signing all of this. We just release all the documents for them to review. But yeah, all of the documents, all of the security instruments have to be completed and approved by the time we're signing. We don't leave anything for the future.
So it's a regular trust, because I know we have two different ones here. How do you do it when they haven't paid off the loan?
The loan is attached to the Fideicomiso. So see it as the Fideicomiso, like it's a bank account. You have a checking account at HSBC, you open a saving account at HSBC, and you ask HSBC to buy that property under your name within that account. That's the way I simplify the explication of this famous Fideicomiso. So they attach the mortgage to that Fideicomiso.
Okay.
Of course, you're the guarantee payer of the Fideicomiso. But the legality of it, it's the owner is the Fideicomiso and got the link, the first rank link of the mortgage, and you are the owner of the Fideicomiso, the beneficiary that they call.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense. And that's really a good closing then. Very secure.
Thank you. Sally? You're muted. He cannot hear you. There you go.
So, the other question that I had was that, Guillermo, you mentioned that, well, at the end of the slide, you had where they could do a cash out refinance. I've been getting a lot of questions from people that are looking into getting a HELOC or a cash out refinance for their properties here in the US. They have a lot of equity. Is that something that you can do, like do the cash out refinance or do the HELOC combined with using that for the loan in Mexico? Is that why you added in the slide? I was just wondering because you didn't it during the presentation.
No, and that's a good question. I don't do loans in the States. I mean, for properties in the States, normally they can get a better rate than just going to their local bank or whomever they have out. The cash out refinance or the refinances we do is for those properties in Mexico. As Nathaly was saying, and some agents in the past have been saying there's no financing options, you have to pay cash. And suddenly these customers, they have tied up all of their assets in just one property. So they come to us whenever they find out that there's a financing option. I mean, just to recoup some of the assets that they invested into this property. And that's what we're doing with all of them. I keep talking to agents every week just to let them know, hey, let's go back to those customers that you had that paid cash for the property because you don't know if their financial situation has changed. I mean, yes, the rate is going to be a little bit higher, but it's also tied with the asset that they already have in Mexico. Instead of increasing the interest rate that they have in the States, because in the States they might have a rate of 3%. I mean, let's just keep it with the same asset that they have in Mexico. Let's just put it there, I mean, as a cash out refinance. But that's what we do. I mean, cash out refinances for them to recoup or to get additional funds, maybe to buy another property in Mexico, or refinances, I mean, just to put, maybe they have a lien with the seller, the previous seller. They just want to get from under that, I mean, because the rate is extremely high when the seller financed. I mean, and that's when we jump in, I mean, to help them.
That's interesting. So there is cash refinance in Mexico for homes in Mexico?
Yeah, for homes in Mexico, we can do cash out refinances if someone paid cash or if they have a small balance with a different loan. I mean, we can take care of that. I mean, so
That's new. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
and that's what we're
Nathaly,
doing because a lot of people in the past, they just paid cash for it. So this is a good way for them to recoup their assets and maybe invest in another property or other venture.
Yeah.
Guillermo, the famous pre-sale that they have here on the market. You buy a pre-sale, you got your 30% discount, you wait 2 years. At some point, the paperwork get out. You have your titles. When you have your title, the best move is to go cash out refinance. We can refinance for Mexican with traditional bank. They did that for like 6 months for Canadian and American, and they removed that product. It's called liquidez here. They are not doing it anymore for foreigners. So I'm super happy, Guillermo, that you bring that option on the table. Of course, for American, half of my market is Canadian. So I'm still hoping that you will open for Canadian market soon for cash out refinance and for buying property too.
We're working on that and we're getting close. I'll let you know, Elaine, as soon as we have it too.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gus, go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Tengo una pregunta. ¿Existen loans para macrolotes o edificios o solo para casas y villas? Thank you.
En my case, en mi caso, es simplemente casas, villas, departamentos, cosas así. Para lotes, hay mucha gente que está comprando un lote, un terreno para construir en ese lugar, o sea, y están tomando el otro préstamo, el que presenté, que se llama Anywhere, para poder comprar, siempre y cuando tengan un contrato de compra-venta para el terreno y para construir. Y lo estamos viendo mucho con desarrolladores, con developers, que quieren dar su depósito de garantía en lo que construyen para no usar sus propios fondos para ese depósito. Pero edificios, propiedades comerciales y demás, o sea, hay otra institución financiera, tal vez Alain te puede ayudar con eso. No sé, Alain, ¿qué sugerencia tiene?
Nosotros también al 90% son casas residencial o casas para renta de tipo Airbnb o largo plazo. Para terrenos, estamos la excepción aquí de mi lado del continente del país. Hay muchos terrenos ejidales que no tienen títulos. So, los bancos no van en un lugar que no pueden poner la mano en el título. Pero tenemos buen producto. Hay uno que está con Scotiabank y un otro que está con HSBC. Te permiten 50-50. So, compras un terreno de $100,000, con 50,000 puedes comprar el terreno, pero no vas a obtener un crédito para construir hasta la liquidación completa de este préstamo. Hay que te prestan para comprar el terreno y hacerte tu casa de máximo un piso. Y podemos financiar a partir del 10%. O digamos un terreno de 100,000 y una casa de 200,000. So, la transacción final y total es 300,000. Hay una mega ventaja en este caso. El banco va a requerir 30,000, el 10% de toda tu transacción. Y luego te van a hacer administración. Draw en inglés. So, van a ayudarte a construir tu casa, pero no te van a darte un cheque en blanco. te van a apoyar con la completación de los trabajos. O tienes un buen trato con un desarrollador o constructor, él va a poder construir para ti y el banco va a sacar el dinero adelante, con la evolución de la obra. Mega ventaja es que pagas todos tus gastos notariales en el precio de tu terreno, no de tu casa terminada.
Ok.
O al contrario de pagar un 6-7% de una casa de 300,000, que sería 18 o 21,000 dólares, vas a solo pagar gastos notariales sobre el precio de tu terreno de 100,000. Son mega ventaja, pero no hay para extranjeros. Mercado nacional únicamente.
Okay.
Ok, gracias.
Y Gus, si quieres, contáctame después de esto. Tal vez quiero ver más de qué tipo de propiedad es lo que estás buscando. Tal vez haya una opción para esto, pero déjame saber un poquito más.
Muy
Si
bien.
puedes tomar mis datos, mándame un correo electrónico y contactamos para ver si tengo una opción para ti, pero sería fuera de Moxy.
Ok, ok. Gracias, Guillermo.
And for those who don't catch Spanish, that was about commercial loans and loans for land. And there's a ways to do a bundle that you get the land construction, and there's going to be a bundle loan for that. But that's a whole different topic. Right now, we're going over residential, but it's super important because a lot of people ask about land. But yeah, unless they have a title, don't bring it to the bank. Any other questions? Anybody else? Otherwise, I have a couple. And before we finish the call, so my question is for the anywhere loans, will they be a loan in the US, a loan in Mexico, or what will be the backup asset that goes against the borrowing part?
This is a unique product because this is kind of a personal loan. We look at the finances from the customers. I mean, we look for assets. I mean, if it's someone who doesn't have a penny in the bank and wants this loan, they will not qualify for it. They need to have, I mean, pretty much the same amount. It's someone who doesn't want to invest their own assets, I mean, into this and to do it. That's why we're using it, I mean, around the globe, I mean, or for people putting their down payment. I mean, maybe they think, I mean, securing all of their assets, I mean, into a security deposit with a developer. I mean, it's a lot of risk for them. We can finance that. I mean, and whenever they have that final, I mean, well, whenever the property is titled, whenever they complete the property, we can just take, I mean, the end loan. We pay this, I mean, anywhere loan for it. But it's not a mortgage. It works more like a personal loan. We base this on their risk profile, I mean, and their current assets. And then they don't have to invest them into this. I mean, but the rate on that one will be a little bit higher. That starts at 11%, can go a little bit higher than that. I mean, that is just a personal loan that we're doing for them and anywhere around the world, anywhere around the world.
The client can be from anywhere around the world, or they have to be American. And
No, the client has to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident of the United States.
And the assets that will back it up will be in the US. The assets.
They can have assets anywhere else. I mean, but yes, they have to be verifiable assets. I mean, with a financial institution or something like that.
So that's good. And then go ahead.
No, for the strategy with that, I just reread it on my other screen just to make sure that I got fully the product. I will give one advice. Get your pre-approval before for traditional bank and go get that loan after. Because if you do that loan before, it will appear on the credit bureau. So here the bank will analyze that amount of money. So it will reduce your capacity of payment.
Okay.
But it's a way to play. We are there to offer people a way to buy their dream in paradise. So if it's in 2 steps, it's perfect. You get your pre-approval at the bank and you get this one. If you can get all from the same company, better, but I'm sure Moxy will not finance the foreign mortgage and the anywhere loan. I'm sure you cannot combine because it will be like finance at 100% the transaction.
That's correct. Yeah, our final loan has to be up to 65% of the loan to value. So customers who get this loan, I mean, normally we pay it off with our traditional loan, I mean, at closing. But it's a good way, I mean, for someone, I mean, as I said, developers, I mean, for pre-constructions, we're seeing a lot of them putting a security deposit. 2 months later, they pay 20% more. 5 months later, they put 50% more. I mean, and at the time of closing, they owe like 10% of it. We can come in at that time, give them a 65% loan, and they end up getting some of their money back because they have already paid more than 65 to the developer. So,
I love it.
but yes, we don't put the two of loans together. We don't put anywhere in our traditional loan together because that'll be like financing 100% of the house, and we don't do that. But we can use it as a temporary financing option. And at the end, we just put the traditional loan program and we pay off the anywhere.
Awesome.
Nice.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, but for basic requirements on a loan for Moxy or a general loan, what will be kind of like the basic paperwork they need, similar to the US, pay stubs?
For us, yeah, pay stubs for someone who is a wage earner and 2 years of W-2s, last 2 pay stubs, bank statements. For someone who is self-employed, 2 years of tax returns. I mean, for the businesses that they might have, I mean, we are really similar to what we ask, I mean, in the United States. One thing with us, I mean, depending on the situation, we see a lot of self-employed borrowers, and we have a bank statement program that we can use in some other cases. I mean, because some people lately, they're getting too creative with their taxes. I mean, so we have a bank statement program. I mean, or we do asset depletion. A customer who has $1 million in the bank, I mean, we can take those assets, I mean, divide them by 120 months, and that's the income that we're going to use. So just looking for ways to qualify and some borrow.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else, any other questions before we wrap it up? Ask now or hold your peace forever. And I'll share also the information for everybody in the WhatsApp chat. Elaine, I think is already there. Guillermo, I'll add you in the WhatsApp chat because the Anywhere loan will help, I think, for the agents that are somewhere else from our company. There are 27 countries. Maybe they want to borrow in the US to buy in Portugal, to buy in Spain, to buy. I mean, they're already doing it. So it would be very helpful to have that extra hand that they didn't have before. Okay, perfect. If nobody else has any other questions, great questions, by the way. We'll get going then. Thanks, Elaine and Guillermo, for all the information. Very valuable. I'm gonna pause the recording now. Everything will be available on YouTube and the contact information as well.